How was that?
38 years on the old Arkansas, the old battleship.
Okay.
It had been in the White Fleet days, coal burner, and then they put it to an oil burner when we was on it.
So you were an electrician on the ship then?
Mm-hmm.
How many other electricians were there on the ship?
About 100.
100.
Mm-hmm.
And did you, when you were over there, how long were you on the ship?
That's on 38 months.
38 months?
Well, I was in the Navy 38 months, but biggest share of the time I was on the ship.
And so you, where exactly did you go when you were on the ship?
Well, we was in the Atlantic first. I met my ship down in Norfolk, and it wasn't there, and I had to go to New York, and I stayed in Pier 92 for one night. That's where they talked about bad conditions being there.
Uh-huh.
Walter Winchell had all about that. And then I caught my ship that day, and we did some convoy duty, taking troops across. The destroyers would be circling us all the time, and they had to go a lot of miles, so we had to refuel them. Our ship was big enough that had enough oil on it we could refuel the destroyers too. And then we was in the invasion of Normandy and southern France invasion, and then one Sunday morning we went into Cherbourg. There's a shore battery in there that hadn't been knocked out. And we had to knock it out. And they give us smoke screens, but the New York was with us, and they got hit. But that was about as hot a place as we'd been, because they was throwing stuff at, and they got the shore battery knocked out. And that way they didn't have any more trouble with them. Then we come back to Boston and got all new guns, replaced 12-inchers, and got a paint job to go through Panama Canal, and out in the Pacific you had to have different colors. It was camouflage stuff. And we was in Iwo Jima and Okinawa invasions there. And when Iwo Jima, when they put that flag up, they announced this is going to be put up. I don't know whether it was the first one or the second one, but we witnessed it, and everybody out with their spyglasses and stuff. And Mount Sarabaki, I guess you've seen that in there, just cut a half moon out of it. It was a volcano, and it was just alive with people in it, I guess. The whole ground was all caves in it. And we should never been there. We lost a lot of men there. For a couple of planes got landed in there, and that's about as good as it was for taking it. And then I got sent back to the States, and I got in the States the day the war was over. I talked to my wife on the telephone, and the shotguns was going off in Raceville. We talked for about 2 hours and never did get a bill for it.
How big was your ship that you were on?
Oh, I couldn't tell you just how long it was, but
Just a big ship.
it's a long ship, yeah. It's a good sized ship.
And were all the ships all over their different sizes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When we went in the invasion of Normandy, they had mirage balloons all tied up with big cables on them, so the airplanes couldn't dive into you. They was up pretty high, so when the planes come in, why, they'd get tangled in them cables if they tried to dive on you. And when we went in, the guys was real trigger happy, and they shot over the front of the ship, bent all the frames, because it's not supposed to be shot that way. It's supposed to be sideways so the ship will take the list of the firing. That guy got fired. We had leaks all over the place when we be a storm or something. We'd have to have bucket brigades in the hallways to get the water out.
Now, when talking about the destroyers, I know what their jobs were, but what were your guys' jobs when you guys say when you invaded Normandy?
Well, I was in a repair unit down below decks, but what was that question?
Like, what was your ship's job when you guys went to go invade certain places?
Well, we bombarded inland. We had 2 Kingfisher airplanes. They was up on top of the cannons, and the cannon turns while they could shoot them off. And they used a shell. They'd rev the plane up, and then they'd shoot a shell, and it had a little runway that went on, and they'd get pretty near down to the water before they'd come up. And then when we retrieved them, they had a big yard arm that stuck out with a cable on it pulling the mat, and they'd run up on the mat, and then we'd pick them up with the cranes and put them back on their perch up there.
Did you where did you attend boot camp?
Great Lakes. I got scabies while I was in there. They put me in the hospital for 3 days, and they put sulfur and lard all over you. And the 3rd day, they told us to take a bath, and I took it as hot as I could take it. And I broke out all over again. I had to do it 3 more days.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was awful.
How was boot camp?
It was interesting. We had used broom handles for guns. Everything was, we wasn't ready for war. And every gun they had, they took out there outside of the shooting range. We did go to a shooting range and get to shoot a little. But they made a lot of stuff to win that war. People at home did a lot of work to get stuff ready for us. We was more or less hiding in the Pacific because we wasn't ready. But they got ships and everything ready real quick. Done a real good job here on the home front.
So did you see a lot of combat overseas?
Oh yeah.
What was the scariest moment?
Oh,
Probably you had a few scary moments, but
well, they really ain't scary. It's just a happening.
right.
When you go in there, why, you're ready for anything, you know. But it's hard to describe. But in them days, everybody wanting to go. There wasn't no draft dodgers or anything hardly that we know of. I know when I went in, I had high blood pressure all my life. And of course, I was afraid I wasn't going to get in, and I really had it. And they had me holdover, so they put me in the hospital, and they had a thing that come on when I didn't know whether I was going to get it or not. And I was normal when I didn't know when I was going to get it. So they finally let me in. But I didn't want to have to go back home.
So you were drafted? You weren't enlisted? You didn't
No,
enlist?
the draft was blown on me when I joined the Navy because I always wanted in the Navy.
Did you meet a lot of good people over there?
Oh yeah, I made a lot of good friends. Well, we had 40 years after it was over, we got together and had reunions. We had 13 or 14 reunions. Went all over the country for them. And we really enjoyed that. we went to Little Rock when the president was a governor there, and he had all the regalia from our ship. It had been sunk in the Bigham atom just after the war was over, and the kids, when the ship was built, they sent silver dollars in, and they melted them down, and they had cups and saucers and plates and silverware. Everything was silver. We had 3 big tables full of silver there. The wardroom officers used it when we was at sea, and that was quite a bit of stuff for make out of dollars.
What was one of your most memorable moments?
Oh, I don't know. We had the midshipmen on there for 3 months. They stripped our crew down to skeleton crew, and it was real interesting. Those recruits, when they fought, they really fought. You didn't see these matches like you see that's set up. They really went to it. And I was in distribution where they make electricity. I had 2 generators forward and 2 aft, and I'd have to train these guys. You just get them trained, and they'd run another batch in on you. So they'd get demerits for everything, too. Some of them was sleeping in the passageways. They always find a way to beat something.
Did you guys do any fun stuff on the ship to take time off? Did you guys do anything fun on the ship? I know in movies they...
Well, our home port was New York.
Okay.
And we really enjoyed ourselves there.
Sure you did.
And you could go a place and you could get tickets for anything. And the music hall, my wife was out there, and I got in for 35 cents. I don't remember just what it cost her, but it's quite a bit more. But, of course, in them days, the money isn't like today. Prices was a little cheaper then. But the Rockets was there at that time, too. Dancing girls. But I was down at St. Louis. I found out the Rockets started in St. Louis. I always figured they started in New York.
Didn't know that.
That's where they originated from, was St. Louis.
So where else did you guys dock? Besides, you were talking about Normandy. You invaded the Normandy, and so basically you were in the South Pacific for most of the time.
Well, about half and half. We was in some bad storms in the Pacific too. Go to sea whenever there's a storm. You don't stay in port. You go to sea. And boy, they tore the ready boxes right off the ship. It's bad.
What were the storms like?
Oh, our ship would look like a submarine. It'd dive right in. That water come clear over the top of the thing. Destroyers, now they kind of rode the waves. You'd see them one time, and then they'd go clear outside on you, and then they'd be way up in the air. We're a sailor on a destroyer and one on a battleship. It's just a different ride altogether. You'd get sick on a destroyer real quick, I'd think. I never was on one very long. But
how you said the destroyers rode around you? Why did they do that? You said they circled
for protection for submarines and stuff.
So that they just basically protected you.
When we'd get around the Azores, we'd always run into submarines, and they'd drop these cans to shoot them off. And when they'd get close to our battleship, it'd shake the whole side of the ship. It sounded like you'd been hit.
Did where did you attend school before Purdue?
I just went to high school, so
In your hometown?
yeah. And I was a lifeguard at a swimming pool when I left. And when I come back, the old guy running the lumberyard, he said, "You got a lifetime membership here." Well, it was his lifetime when he died. There was no writing or nothing.
Did you take a lot of were there a lot of photographs taken over there?
No, they wouldn't let you have a
They
camera.
wouldn't let you.
Mm-mm.
So you have a lot of these books.
Just them books is all we got.
It's nice to have. I saw you're on a few pages in here
Mm-hmm.
with the rest of your.
Yeah. Well, there's one guy that we'd been together at Purdue, and we was real good friends on the ship. We got to talking one day about where we went to school, and we both went to the same place and come to the ship together and everything. And we got the picture out. Here we was standing side by side in the picture. A great big long picture on the one that is in the Purdue book.
I don't know who that is.
Page 33.
You have a name?
Yes.
That way we could only do it on
In the Purdue book.
It's not in this one?
No.
Not this one, but that right there. So.
Okay. Well, there's a name. That way we can
Yeah, definitely.
figure
We
out
have
a way to, oh, super.
Open that Purdue book up
Okay.
where the group picture is at. There.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably scan.
I have no time holding anything.
I mean, all of them. We can edit this.
That's me right there, I
Right
think.
there?
Let me get my glasses back.
Kind of hard to tell on that.
No, oh, here I am over here. Right there.
This one?
Yeah, and Simmons is standing right beside me.
Simmons. Okay. Let me show them here. These two right here. That's Paul. What's Simmons' first name?
Yeah,
Remember his
I don't
first-
know, but the book down there would show you.
Simmons. Let's see. That would be. It's probably the last
There he is.
top row. Oh, there it is, underlined. Okay. It just has last names.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Simmons and Bigham.
Okay. Good. Now we know. We can superimpose it, or enlarge that and superimpose it.
Now, when you were on the ships, was there a lot of stress on you because it seems like you taught a lot of the people, how to be electricians
Well,
on the ship.
the stress was when you shifted the load from forward to aft and everything, because you could lose the load awful easy. And if you didn't know how to do it, why, you was in trouble. Some of the new guys that come on, you have to really study it out and talk a lot in order to find out what to do. It has to be done right, or you lose the load and then you're in trouble.
What was the food like on the ship?
Oh, it was real good.
Real good.
Hmm.
So you ate better than the.
Oh yeah, we ate real good. We had some limeys come aboard, Englishmen, and they said the bread was so good, it didn't have no raisins in it like theirs. Theirs had bugs in it.
Did you keep a personal diary on the ship?
No,
No, just all by memory.
not much for that kind of stuff. But I got a popcorn from my uncle, sent me a shoebox full of popcorn. And we went down the lighting shop and started popping it, and boy, the aroma went up through the bunk rooms, and there's all down there. We ate that whole thing of popcorn that night. It was a bunch down. So everybody called home for popcorn after that.
Where exactly were you when you found out the war was over?
I was in Seattle. I just got in that day. And some of the guys paid $15 for passes to get out that night because they wasn't supposed to go out until you got examined. And they let the gate down, let everybody out. So some of them guys had to pay.
What did you do after the war exactly? Did you go back to work? Or?
Yeah, I went to a plumbing shop and went to work as electrician for him. And then in '53, I joined the local down here in Quincy. And been a member of it ever since. I got a thing back the other day with a certificate from the American Legion that had been a paid-up member for 60 years. Got a plaque for it.
So I take it you attend all the reunions?
Oh yeah, every one I could. Yeah, there was a couple I missed. Kind of sicknesses mostly.
If you don't mind me asking, how did your service affect your life after the war?
Oh, I think it was a good thing.
a good-
I think everybody should put some time in, see how the other half lives. Boy, my eyes are watering for some reason.
Do you want some tissue or something?
You gotta,
Do we have anything around here?
Can I get some, like,
Let me see if I can find some tissue paper
yeah,
for you, okay?
yeah, rub my eyes with it. It'll help. Are you going to college here?
I go to school at Quincy University with Katie,
The Catholic University?
Catholic University.
You got a good basketball team this year?
They do. Did you play any sports?
Yeah.
Basketball?
I went to state when I was freshman and a senior both.
Really?
Yeah. That's back when they didn't have any.
3-point lines? Or?
No, they didn't have a bunch of different.
Different rules?
No, they've got them broke down in schools, the sizes of
Oh,
them.
the classes.
Yeah, we played everybody.
Played everyone.
Yeah, and we had 3 teams out of Spoon River Conference, went to state when I was senior. Lewiston and Beardstown and Rushville, and that's when they let a runner-up go.
So it was a lot tougher to win state. A lot tougher to go to state.
Yeah. Yeah, we played Dundee. And they had a lot better men than we.
Katie's gonna help you. We found some paper towels. They'll probably,
Yeah,
my nose-
my nose is running off.
that help out a little bit.
you know? I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, give me one of them.
Do you want one?
Can you open it up?
And I'm gonna,
Sure.
yeah, I'm gonna keep these. And tell them, go and tell them we're gonna keep these.
We're gonna actually go ahead and close the interview. We got a lot. We really appreciate your time. Really, we're gonna go ahead with these books. He's gonna
Okay.
take care of
I'll
it.
take care of these, so don't worry
Okay.
about that.
They're gonna be fine. I really appreciate everything you've done for the country.
Well,
I know there was a lot of people that did a lot, but thanks a lot for taking the time out.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it.
I've been interviewed before for this. The high school girl from Raceville. Little gal.
You seem like you had some interview experience.
Mhm.
You look like
But-
you've had some experience.
Definitely.
Nose run like faucet.